battle rages in the lower courts about the ability of a defunct business no longer operating to reorganize in Chapter 11 under the very beneficial Small Business Reorganization Act, otherwise known as Subchapter V or Subchapter 5. It's starting to be pretty universally held, although not entirely so, that a defunct business itself, certainly if it's a corporation, is eligible for Subchapter 5 because that company, although no longer operating, is trying to deal with its debt and, generally speaking, will be selling its last few assets, although, as I said, the business was not operating as before. The greater question is centered around whether the individual owner of that defunct small business is himself or herself eligible for Subchapter 5. The owner of the defunct business will very likely need bankruptcy relief because she or he will have guaranteed a good deal of the debt of that defunct business. And the question is, because the business is defunct and he or she is an individual, can that person serve as a debtor in Subchapter 5? Well, as I said, the courts are going both ways on this issue. Those who interpret this statute more broadly will tell you that no, so long as you're dealing with leftover corporate debt from a business, yes, you should be eligible for the SBRA. To my way of thinking, the question goes to one of policy, but as of course we know, courts these days are not much inclined to come up with policy reasons. They will instead try to torture the language of a statute to arrive at an answer. But look at it this way. Someone who owned a small business is by definition a entrepreneur. And that entrepreneur, if saddled with a large amount of debt, is not going to be able to become an entrepreneur again and start a new business until shedding that old debt. Now, when you have a lot of debt, that entrepreneur is not going to be eligible for Chapter 13 and very likely will not be able to confirm a plan under ordinary Chapter 11. So I think from a policy point of view, if you allow that owner to deal with his or her debt through Subchapter 5, that person is going to get back in the stream of commerce much more quickly and thus will be able to contribute to the economy. I am Bill Rochelle, the Editor-at-Large for American Bankruptcy Institute. I will return same time next week with something interesting that has occurred in the world of bankruptcy. Until then, be well, stay safe.